channel. So today I'm doing a very overdue question and answer video. Never done one of these before. Get asked all sorts of questions on Instagram, Facebook, on the comments below videos, and although I do answer them, I thought it'd be fun to just kind of round a bunch of questions up and answer them in one go. So I put like a little shout out ages ago now, well before Christmas, for some questions, so we'll just go ahead. Also bear with me, I have some weird bunged up thing going on, so I sound a bit strange, sorry. So the first question is, what's the best and hardest parts of parenting? And the best parts are the affection, of course, the cuddles and the kisses. Isla's got quite affectionate recently, so it's really sweet where she just comes up out of nowhere and kisses you or cuddles you. And just being proud of them when they master something new, or if they get on really well at nursery, or they're really sweet to another child, or just how proud you get. I get really proud. That just, oh, I love it. So that's my favourite parts of parenting. The worst parts are definitely the relentlessness, how like it just doesn't give up. It's just 24/7 all the time. And I know I can't talk because I'm a working mum, so I'm away 9 hours of the day. But even if when you're at work it doesn't stop, because the guilt's still there, the planning, the figuring out this, that and the other, it just goes on and on and on. So that's probably the worst part of parenting. Oh, and giving birth, of course. Next question is, how do you cope with being a wife, mother, full-time worker and vlogger? Where do you find the time? So I don't sleep, pretty much. Ask my husband. I'm terrible. I rarely go to bed before 1 every night, and it is exhausting. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be in bed at 10 o'clock every night. Like 10 o'clock's my like dream. It would be amazing if I could go to bed at 10 o'clock every night. But because I get in from work about 5:30, 6, got Isla for like an hour, play with her, have fun with her because I've missed her all day, get her ready for bed, do all that jazz. Then I usually try and do a workout, cook dinner. So by the time I sit down to do all the blogging and vlogging, it's gone 9 o'clock. So there's no chance of a 10 o'clock bedtime at all for me. So I don't sleep a lot, but it does all come down to organisation. It's all about planning in advance. That's how I like rule my life. And if things even get unorganised for a week, I feel like I'm like spiralling out of control. So that's kind of how I cope. I'm just one of these people. I'm one of these really annoying people who just goes and just doesn't really stop. So that's how I manage to do it. It's just the way I'm wired. Oh, this is a good one. What's the hardest part about being a military wife? Other than the rubbish marriage course. Don't get me started on my house. But the most rubbish part is probably not having much control over anything. So I've been really lucky for the past 4-ish years where Rob's either been shoreside or just he's been on so many courses which have just kept him here, and he hasn't actually deployed. He did so much sea time before he met me, but since we've been together like the past 6 years he's not been away too much. But next year he's going away for 8 months, so that will be testing. So that's obviously the most rubbish part. You lose your partner for most of the year. So you just get on with things really. I know what I signed up for, but it is more just the no control. The military are really bad at planning, like they just cannot plan anything, and there is no point even trying to take what they say as gospel. Like say that you're going to have this schedule on your ship where you do this and this, that, this. Never ever happens. I have quite a few friends in the Navy as well, like girlfriends, and they just, now they've got kids, it's horrible. It's really hard. It is really hard, but hey ho, it's a good job and he enjoys it, so that's that. The next question is, what are your plans in terms of where you want to be living in the long run? That's a very good question for me. So I grew up abroad. I am Scottish, but I grew up abroad. Loved that, loved the fact that we were out in the Middle East and in Holland, and I would love to go abroad again. So Rob's still got quite a few years left in the Navy, so he'll be doing whatever, and we'll either be here or up in Scotland. So that's kind of the short term. But in the long run, I would love to end up back in the Middle East, or even Holland, or Singapore, or the Far East. I just like to do a couple stints abroad with my family, like my family did with me and my brothers, because I feel like it shaped me as a person. So I would love Isla and any other future kids to have the same experience. So hopefully one day I'll be vlogging from some exotic destination as opposed to the south coast of England. Fingers crossed. Oh, this is a good question, but kind of sad at the moment because we lost our cat a few weeks ago. But the question is, have you had to deal with Isla bullying your cat? It's a lovely girl that is another blogger that asked, because she's got a little chihuahua and her little daughter bullies him. So are asking, have you had to deal with Isla bullying your cat, which is Chloe, our cat that passed away a few weeks ago. Yeah, Isla was hilarious. She loved Chloe to death, absolutely loved her to death, but followed her around. We were getting to the stage recently where she'd like pet really gently. If you were like gentle, she'd like sit and pet properly rather than like hitting or doing the fur the wrong way. But she used to find, you know how cats' ears flick? She used to find it really funny to like hold her hand over the ear, over Chloe's ear, and let it flick. And I was like, that's so mean. And she'd just follow her around the house and she'd get too excited, so she'd go, ah! And Chloe would be like... So yeah, we did have to deal with Isla bullying her, but it's just all about observing them. Kind of keeping a little bit of distance if you can see your pet's getting a bit annoyed, because there's nothing worse. It's not fair on pets. I always think if dogs, you read about these stories where dogs go for kids, I bet 8 times out of 10 it's probably because the child was being a little bit too hands-on. So it's just observe them, make sure like both were comfortable with each other, and let the animal have somewhere separate to run to if they need to, and then like hold your child back, because I've had to do that with Chloe and Isla a few times. I've let Chloe outside and be like, Isla, no, and she stayed with us, so Chloe gets away. But yeah, that's about it really. That's kind of how we've managed it. And as they get older, you can speak to them and be like, no, gentle hands, kind hands, and they get it. So that's how we've dealt with it. This is a good one for any parent. How do you deal with tantrums? Cry? No, I read something recently because I think I was dealing with them wrong. I would just ignore her and kind of walk away, and I thought that was the best way to deal with it. But obviously not if we were out and about. I wouldn't like leave her in the middle of somewhere and just walk off. I mean, in the house. I thought that was the best way to deal with it, because I thought, well, then she's not getting the attention, so she doesn't associate tantruming with actually getting attention. But then I read something online because I was a bit like, this is getting a bit ridiculous, and apparently it is good to ignore them but still be in the same room as them, so they've still got that comfort of knowing you're there, but you're not giving them like giving in to anything. That's the main thing. Do not give in unless you're out and about and you're really desperate. Me at a restaurant on Saturday, I was like, just take anything, stop it. So I can't say don't give in all the time, but yeah, I'd say the way we deal with it is we don't give in, we stay with her, but we don't like give her attention for it, and just kind of ride it out. There's not much you can do once they're in that zone where they just scream and they're like, and they pull that face and they go and they don't breathe. There's not much point trying to fight it really. I do try and speak to her and I'm like, use your words, and if she gets really bad and she does the thing where she doesn't breathe, just blow in their face, and then they're like, oh, okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. What do you do as a job, and was it always that you wanted to go back full time? So I can say what I do for a job, but I can't say who I work for because of the industry I work in. I work in the defence industry, so they're a bit funny about things on the internet and social media. So I'm an asset manager these days. I used to be an assistant merchandiser for Debenhams head office in London, doing kind of retail buying stuff for their international stores. That was good. In an office, not working in a shop. People always get that confused. But now I'm an asset manager, so it's a tactical supply chain asset manager is my full shebang title. But I basically just manage parts. Kind of what I did before, but instead of clothes, it's military engineering parts instead. So very exciting. But I love it. I love the people I work with, and it's good company, good job, so quite happy. I did always want to go back full time. I think the dream would be to do like 4 days and have 1 full day off, but the way I work it just now is I work longer hours Monday to Thursday, so I can have Friday afternoon off, which works for me. But I did always want to go back full time just because money wise, lifestyle wise, and career wise, ambition wise. I went to uni, enjoyed that, and I never intended to be a stay-at-home mum or anything like that. Oh, I've got a question here about family meal ideas, but I've started doing meals of the week videos, so if that was your question, then feel free to check those videos out. And thanks for inspiring me. And that's it. So that was a whole bunch of questions. I've split the video into 2 because you don't want to hear me ramble on for 20 minutes. So thank you very much for watching, and be sure to tune into the second part because this is just the first part. And thank you so much for your questions. I'll probably do another one of these in a few months' time. So feel free to pop some more questions in the boxes below, and I can keep them on some notes thing on my phone and answer them in the future. But hope that's interested you a little bit. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye!